On the news, CBN Governor says heavy restriction will be placed on the volume of cash withdrawal as President Muhammadu Buhari officially unveils redesigned Naira notes. $1 billion looted funds recovered since 2015, federal government announces. And Germany slumped to Japan in another World Cup shocker. It's good to have you join us on News Now. I am Mary Kanu. President Muhammadu Buhari has officially unveiled a redesigned Naira notes. President Buhari unveiled the new currency notes on Wednesday morning in a ceremony before the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting at the State House Abuja. The redesigned notes presented to the public are the 1,000, 500 and 200 Naira notes, the country's highest currency denominations. Speaking during the unveiling, President Buhari underscored the importance of redesigning the Naira notes, saying it will help the country to address the issue of illicit financial flows, corruption, improve the economy and the value of the Nigerian currency.
Our local laws, specifically the Central Bank of Nigeria Act of 2007, grants the Central Bank of Nigeria the power to issue and redesign the Naira. In line with this power, the Central Bank Governor approached me earlier in this year to seek my permission to embark on a currency redesign project. I considered all the facts and reasons presented before me by the Central Bank. There was an urgent need to take control of currency in circulation and to address the hoarding of Naira banknotes outside the banking system, the shortage of clean and fit banknotes in circulation, and the increase in counterfeiting of high-denomination Naira banknotes. It is on this basis that I gave my approval for the redesign of the 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira banknotes. The new Naira banknotes have been fortified with security features that made it difficult to counterfeit. These new banknotes will help the central bank design and implement better monetary policy objectives. They will also enrich our collective memory of Nigeria's heritage.
On his part, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, debunked insinuations suggesting that the early unveiling of the new Naira notes is a means to target some Nigerians. The CBN governor explained that there will be heavy restriction on the volume of cash that people can withdraw over the counter as it works with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to monitor the purpose of any heavy transactions.
And we will indeed be more intense in ensuring that the provisions of the law and our CBN regulations about the size and volume of currencies that people can hold or can carry or can withdraw, that we would insist that this is done going forward. And I think Nigeria and the Central Bank of Nigeria is prepared at this time to move towards a cashless economy. And that is the reason why, following the redesign and issuance of this note, we would go forward to insisting that cashless will be nationwide. What we are saying is this. We announced this program October 26, 2022. And we have said that from today, this currency that is issued will be legal tender in Nigeria or all over the world, wherever it is going to be accepted. So between October 26th and January 31, 2023, we believe that is over 100 days. We have made adequate arrangement. The banks have been told that they will keep their currency processing centers open from Mondays to Saturdays, even to late hours every day.
The newly redesigned Naira notes may have only been unveiled on Wednesday, but Nigerians have already begun expressing exactly how they feel about the new notes, both on social media and on the streets. While some Nigerians have lamented that it is a waste of resources considering the country's economic situation, others are of the opinion that it is a welcome development as it will improve money circulation within the country. Speaking to TV360 Nigeria, some Lagos residents say there is not much difference between the old and new notes. They, however, urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to reconsider the deadline for the submission of the old notes.
It's a good innovation, it's good. If you see, there is so much mutilated Naira notes in circulation right now. So it also helped to remove such mutilated currencies in circulation, and the new mints being brought into the circulation. We are nearing the deadline. It's also within the mandate of the CBN to look at it and decide whether to extend or not. But for now, they have given the policy and they've given the deadline. We as the masses, we have to comply with it.
New Naira note for a change of color of a note is not worth it at all. I don't think it is. It's not. It's still a long time till everybody gets to, go to the bank and change everything. But Nigerian bank, their service is always bad, but it's a good time. If people don't meet up, they can see extended. There's no death penalty or anything. So it doesn't really matter the deadline.
Changing the money is not the problem. Let the government provide a enable environment for business to strive, quick job employment for people. Not changing the new Naira note. Changing the new Naira note will not do anything. It doesn't worth the stress. I prefer the old notes compared to the new notes. Because the new notes, from what I've seen so far in social media, they look alike. So I'll prefer the old notes than the new notes. Time frame is too small. I think the Central Bank should extend the time for those living in the rural area, those who don't have accessible to the bank. So I think the government should increase the time frame. It's too small.
To speak more on this development, Margaret Ogundana, former Deputy Director, Central Bank of Nigeria, joins me now. It's good to have you join me. Now, the CBN governor at the unveiling today said two striking things. One is that there will be heavy restriction on the volume of cash people can withdraw over the counter and that the new Naira notes cannot be counterfeited. Now, what do you make of this?
I think it's a very good development, the redesigning of the Naira. My own observation, which is what I can perceive by virtue of my experience in the banking industry for so many years, is the volume of money outside the banking system is bigger than the one within the banking system. And when you look at the invisible traders, those of them who still use cash, what they are using is usually the 100 Naira and the 50 Naira, and the 20 Naira, many of which are mutilated, and many of them many of which are not even available in the markets when you go and buy some things in the market. So there will be need, in my own personal opinion, for an extension of the dates. And like other people have said, we need to ensure that with an extension of that date, which is also within the purview and the authority of Central Bank, many people in the rural community will be able to bring out whatever they have and now change for the new Naira note. And when you look at it largely, the currencies being changed, being redesigned, they are not the 100 Naira nor the 50 Naira. So Central Bank did the right thing by changing the ones that are, should I say, bigger in terms of value of the currency. That's one point. The second point is that this is an election year. I think it's a good development that Central Bank decided to redesign the notes. I've been seeing a lot of videos and messages on the social media of people who had hoarded, who are now trying to find a way. Some of them hoarded it under the bedrock of their homes, some of them under the foundation of their houses. And now this is election year. And electioneering means people want to spend money. So that will cast a restriction, which I think is a good development from people just throwing money around anyhow, because such money will not be available.
Well, I have to cut you here to ask you another question. From all you said so far, are you confident that the redesign of the 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes will somehow help curb illicit flow of funds in the country?
I think so. Very strongly, I think so. More so when at the banks, there's a restriction on how much money one can withdraw at a time, irrespective of what you have in your accounts. There's a restriction and there's a guidance and there's a regulation that you can't withdraw beyond a particular amount, which I think is good. But he didn't say anything with respect to online transfer of funds. Whether that one will be regulated or changed from what we have, we don't know. But I think it's a good development, largely. The electioneering now will be better control in terms of people throwing money around. I think it's a good development. And it will help enhance the monetary policy with respect to, especially with fiscal stance and the money in the circulation, which is outside the banking system. The more outside the banking system is more than the one in the banking system. So that one will need to be looked into very closely so that people who waste their money stocked up in their belts, under their stomach or whatever. So I think it's a good development overall. I think I agree with Central Bank, and I think I want to commend their efforts for the redesigning of the notes.
All
Thank
right,
you.
then. Margaret Ogundano, former Deputy Director, Central Bank of Nigeria, thank you very much for your time and your contribution. The President Muhammadu Buhari has officially flagged off the Coal Money Integrated Development Project in the northeast, the first of its kind in the zone. Buhari said the oil exploration at the Coal Money River, located between Gombe and Bauchi State, has already attracted over $3 million foreign direct investment and, among other things, boost Nigeria's fortunes and earnings. Our correspondent Abisola Debayo tells us more.
In 2016, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) launched the Coal Money oil exploration exercise when a huge commercial quantity of oil was discovered here at Coal Money, a village located between Bauchi and Gombe states. 6 years later, President Muhammadu Buhari is officially flagging off the drilling of crude oil at the Coal Money oil field. He is here in company of a retinue of governors from the northern region, ministers, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, and oil industry experts. The Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari, says the commercial discovery at Coal Money River is a testament to the order of President Buhari that forced the NNPC to re-strategize and eventually make history in this location.
We are pleased with the current discovery of over 1 billion barrels of oil reserves and 500 billion cubic feet of gas within the Coal Money area, and the huge potentials for more deposits as we intensify exploration efforts. It is therefore to the credit of this administration that at a time when there is near zero appetite for investment in fossil energy, coupled with the location challenges, we are able to attract investment of over $3 billion United States dollars to this project.
An elated President Buhari revealed that 1 billion barrels of crude oil reserves and 500 billion standard cubic feet of gas exists in the Coal Money field, saying the discovery has broken the jinx of oil discovery concentrated in the Niger Delta region of the country.
Our partner and stakeholder engagements have indicated unquestionable zeal to support our campaigns for further exploration activities and for the delivery of this project in particular. May I particularly mention the extreme collaboration and support of the governments and people of Bauchi and Gombe states. We are convinced that this collaboration will be sustained to drive the delivery of value to all Nigerians.
Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva, on his part, explained that drilling for hydrocarbons at the upper Benue through Gongola Basin remains crucial to the nation's survival, adding that it is a pathway to energy transition.
This is why I welcome the collaboration between NNPC Limited and its partners in this campaign and look forward to the expansion of these partnerships with respect to other basins, which will give us a fighting chance to address the myriad of issues that confront us.
We need to make conscious and serious efforts at diversifying our economy. While we are getting the resources from the oil, we should be looking at how to make the oil resources move out, develop, more and more areas of the real sector where our people can be more gainfully employed.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has over the years remained consistent in its search for new oil deposits to achieve its target of raising the nation's oil reserve to 40 billion barrels by 2025, as well as boost the country's revenue. With the commencement of oil drilling at the Kolmani fields, the company is well on its way to achieving its target. Abisola Adebayo, TV360, Kolmani, Bauchi.
Well, we'll take a break here, but still to come, federal government insists on travel protocols, says COVID-19 pandemic not over. We'll bring you details of the story and more right after this break. Welcome back. A recap now of our top stories tonight. President Muhammadu Buhari has officially unveiled the redesigned Naira notes. President Buhari unveiled the new currency notes on Wednesday morning in a ceremony before the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting at the State House, Abuja. The redesigned notes presented to the public are the 1,500 and 200 Naira notes, the country's highest currency denominations. We also told you that Nigerians have already begun expressing how they feel about the new notes, both on social media and on the streets, while some Nigerians lamented that it is a waste of resources considering the country's economic situation. Others are of the opinion that it is a welcome development as it will improve money circulation within the country. Well, in case you missed any of the news bulletins or for more updates, log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, on Facebook at TV360 Online. And now to COVID-19 stories and updates. The federal government, through the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, has said that travel protocols in place to curb the spread of the pandemic are not lifted yet. The technical head of the PSC Secretariat, Mukhtar Mohammed, while speaking during a televised interview, said despite speculations in some quarters, it is untrue that only Nigeria is still observing health declarations for COVID-19. He added that although some developed countries may have been able to eliminate the travel protocol due to the level of high vaccination and booster doses received, about 85 countries still require pre-departure testing. And Beijing has shut parks and museums, and more China's cities have resumed mass testing for COVID-19 as China fights a fresh nationwide spike in cases that have deepened concerns about its economy. China reported 28,127 new local cases nationally for Monday, nearing its daily infection peak in April, with cases in the southern city of Guangzhou and the southwestern municipality of Chongqing accounting for about half of the total. In the capital, Beijing cases have hit a fresh record high, prompting calls for more residents to stay put. We'll take a break now and return with business updates, so stay with us. Welcome back, Simisola Adegoyin, standing by with business updates. Simisola.
Thank you, Mary. Welcome to Business News. Now, after 2 days of careful deliberations, the Policy Setting Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has decided to tighten interest rate by increasing MPR by 16.5%. This hike, according to the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, is a means to ensure that inflation rate is tamed and investors' confidence is restored in the nation's economy. Despite a steady increase in MPR in the past 3 consecutive MPC meetings, inflation pressure has not moderated as expected. Our correspondent Folashade Ogunride tells us more in this report.
This is a 288th meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), its last for the year 2022. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria voted to increase the benchmark interest rate by 100 basis points to 16.5%, the highest since 2001. While acknowledging the concerns this decision may elicit, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, says a hike in interest rate is crucial to taming inflation.
At 21.09%, inflation is already hurting growth. If we did not see this high level of inflation in the last 7 months, we would have been damn optimistic that growth would have hit close to 4%. But because of the aggressive rate of rise in inflation, it is hurting growth at this level in Nigeria. And that's the reason you would see that we are taking this very, very seriously.
Still dwelling on the problem of inflation, the CBN boss explained that another strategy it plans to adopt is to reduce the circulation of high denominations of 500 naira and 1,000 naira notes to curb inflationary pressure.
Increasing the high denomination bills is also part of what may even be fueling inflation. So in fact, yes, we will launch 200, 500, 1,000. Over time, we will reduce the volume of 500 and 1,000 in circulation. Let people carry 50 naira around. If you want to do high value transactions, embrace online, embrace our agency program, embrace our mobile banking program. That is what you need.
The devastating flooding experienced in more than 30 states of the Federation has ravaged properties worth trillions of naira and taken the lives of about 500 people. Also worrisome is the number of farmlands and farm produce submerged by water, triggering concerns of an impending food crisis. The CBN governors have assured that the federal government has in place strategic reserves to contain an upward trend of food prices.
Since the flooding is beginning to recede, we would aggressively go into a dry season planting program that will make sure that the impact of the rising food prices does not linger for too long, so that we can have good control on the price of agri products, which eventually will feed through into the prices of ultimately the goods that our people consume generally.
The CBN governor also reassured that contrary to speculations, the Apex Bank would continue to aggressively drive its smallholders farmers program, which the CBN governor disclosed has so far gobbed a total of 1.07 trillion naira. Folashade Ogunride, TV360, Abuja.
We'll now go on a short break and be back with stock market reports. Stay with us. Nigeria's equities market closed in the positive region for the 3rd consecutive day in the trading week, rising by 2.9%. Thankfully, the hike in the monetary policy rate by the CBN on Tuesday did not affect market potential. Now, for performance indicators, the all-share index and market capitalization also increased to 46,232 basis points and 25.1 trillion naira, recording a gain of 710 billion naira. Dangote Cement and Boa Cement stocks pushed the market higher with their increased share price of 262 naira and 79 naira each. Now in 3,558 deals, 187 million volume of stock valued at over 1.84 billion naira were exchanged. Now to our select stocks, the FTSE edged higher on Wednesday despite more signs that the UK is heading for a recession. US stocks Dow Jones rose as well as investors await the release of policy minutes from the Federal Reserve's latest meeting for potential signs that the central bank may slow the pace of interest rate hikes. And Japan's Nikkei also had a green trading day. That's the stock market report. Back to you, Mary.
Thank you, Simisala, for the update on the global scene. At least 10 persons have been confirmed dead and multiple injured following a shooting at a Walmart store in Virginia, the United States of America. The gunman, suspected to be the store manager, was said to have opened fire on shoppers in the late hours of Tuesday and killed himself afterwards. The outburst of gun violence in the city of Chesapeake comes just before Americans celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday and follows another mass shooting at an LGBTQ club in Colorado late on Saturday that left 5 people dead. And now in sports, Japan stunned Germany 2-1 in the World Cup opener on Wednesday, punishing the 4-time champions for not taking the chances after they dominated the first half. The German team covered their mouths for the team photo before the match in a powerful protest against FIFA's decision to ban rainbow-themed armbands. Germany's World Cup future is now on the line with games to come in Group E against Spain and Costa Rica. That's our package this evening. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Mary Kanu.